Oh, wow, what a beautiful day for May days. I was just looking at your menu. See what else we can find here. Yay! Having fun in the little maze. Yay! Great fun. Ah. Tasty. Warning, the following views expressed on this program belong to that of the cast and crew of Ohio's on Fire and not of any other station or program affiliated with this show.
You hold on to love that's gone. Run that mile, you see him smile. But you don't know he's on the door, playing you on the floor.
This is the show where Ohio throws down. Ohio's on fire. I am your host, Daniel Diesel Ryan, and this is the show the most. It's Thursday night once again. I'm so happy to be doing this. I love this show. This is my flagship program, my vision. I'm bringing it to life once again. Like I said, I'm Daniel Diesel. Tonight we got a lot of fun things planned for you tonight. I've planned it all myself. Hope you enjoy it. First, tell you what's coming up later in the show. I got a comedian tonight, my special guest. His name is Rich Jones. I consider him the hardest working comedian in all of Dayton, Ohio. He will be on around 7:30, 7:35. Also, I got OMVP. I'm playing independent music tonight from the Ohio area. And at the end of the show, I have my final message, plus other random surprises I have in store. But if you follow the show, you know what we start out with. We start with a talk with the state of Ohio. We're talking to the state of Ohio. That's how we start it all. And I tell you, for you basketball fans in the NBA, especially for LeBron James, probably one of the biggest basketball players of his generation. He's a two-time league MVP. And the thing is, he may have played his last game in Cleveland. Because just last night, Boston took a big lead. They beat Cleveland at their home court. It was like 120-97, I think. And Boston took a 3-2 series lead. So Cleveland now has to go to Boston, play them in front of their home crowd. And of course, LeBron James was criticized because he had a really bad game last night. He only scored 15 points, 3 of 14 shooting. He did not do very well. He actually got booed at some point, and he got offensive about it, saying that he always tries, that no one should question him as an individual. But of course, others were thinking that maybe he was holding back because he might be, because of his free agency status. He is going to be a free agent at the end of the season, and he might be going someplace making $30 million a year. He might be going to New York, Chicago, and maybe be an end to quite an era of Cleveland basketball, especially for the hometown hero who grew up in Ohio all of his life. It's quite a story. He was a superstar sensation in high school. He forego college. He went to the pros, and now he's been with Cleveland, I think, for like, I think this is his sixth season in the NBA. It was around 2004, I think his rookie season was. So he's been with Cleveland for 6 seasons already. And yet no championship yet, and a championship may not be coming. Especially if they lose again tonight. They could be in real big trouble. And there's real big doubt if he's coming back at all. People don't know if Cleveland's going to offer the money that LeBron James wants, that he desires in the marketing. So it's all up in the air. My criticism is that he really is the only good player that's on that team. That Cleveland wouldn't be as good as they are if he wasn't on there, because the rest of his team usually doesn't help him out. They all rely on him, and then when he has a bad night, they blame him. They don't go after Mo Williams or Shaq. They put it all on LeBron James. I would hope LeBron James can stay. Cleveland should try giving him a $25 million contract, because that's probably what he's going to cost. I know it's a lot, but if you want to keep him, you have to try. There's a few more things I do want to add for talking to Ohio. The thing is, I know the last few weeks I've been talking about these weird animal sightings taking place or incidents that involved animals. I talked about cows. Then I had peacocks. Well, this trend has continued. For some reason, the trend of weird animal stories is continuing because now there's an incident with them out. I'm going to try alpacas. Alpaca. I hope I said it right. Alpacas. And I'll tell you what they are. They're kind of like a combination of a sheep and a llama. If you look up Google, you can see what I mean. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, something terrible happened a few days ago. Almost, it was I guess the owner of an alpaca. I guess his name was Jeff Program. He grooms alpacas in his farm, but there was one that he liked in particular, and its name was Masterpiece. And I guess Masterpiece got stolen by a bunch of kids. Let's see, 2 17-year-old boys are charged with animal cruelty and other counts, and a 23-year-old woman is charged with complicity offenses. Let's see, a judge ruled that one of the teens will be tried on the animal cruelty count in juvenile court and as an adult on the felony charges. Juvenile count hearing on the other team's status has been confirmed continuing until May 24th. Anyway, and a lot of farmers are upset by this. One quote from Beth Crescent: "I can't imagine anyone looking into the gentle eyes of an alpaca." So I'm gonna say it right, alpaca or alpaca. Anyway, and doing such a thing, an alpaca owner in Medina, Beth Crescent, that's her quote. And there's some other. You can read the article. You can go to google.com/hosted news. So it's an animal cruelty charge. It's really terrible. Masterpiece got killed, and yeah, the animal lovers don't like that. Don't take people's animals away. Don't kidnap them and beat them to death. That's wrong. I would hope that people would know better by now not to do that. Michael Vick had to learn the lesson the hard way. Pets and animals, you should not kill them. They do have feelings. Then they might get angry if you try to kill them and you fail. They might bite at you or something, like bite you. So I'm sorry to hear that. So continue the trend of weird animal news here on Ohio's on Fire. Maybe there might be more next week because I looked these up and they just pop up and like, oh wow, so these animals, they're in the news a lot. We gotta treat our animals better, not hit them on the road. We can't beat them. We can't steal them. We can't put them in graders. We gotta treat animals nice. You gotta be careful. Just play it safe and go on with your life. And now one more news event I want to say. It's kind of Ohio related. It's kind of I guess maybe American related. But White House said that Barack Obama is going to visit Ohio next week, according to a news source at Google. President Barack Obama will visit the battleground state of Ohio next week for the latest stop on his tour to promote his administration's efforts to create jobs and improve the economy. The White House announced the visit Thursday as Obama prepared to speak at a manufacturing plant in Buffalo, New York. But Obama will be visiting Youngstown, eastern Ohio on Tuesday. The White House said details of the visit weren't released, so it'll be a surprise, I guess. So if you're in the Youngstown area, you can check out our president, Barack Obama, Tuesday morning over in I guess there's the town of Youngstown probably mentioned where, probably a courthouse or a park area. So if I'd mention that, so for those of you going to that, enjoy that. But anyway, everyone loves this. Oh, choked up. Anyway, everyone loves this. I get so choked up, it's so exciting. It's, you know what it is. If you don't know, it's the greatest thing you can possibly do on a radio show anywhere in the world. I am talking about OMVP, and that stands for Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. And that goes to a person that did something interesting. He or she is an Ohio citizen. It goes to at least one person. Every once in a while it goes to maybe a group of people, maybe a couple, or a large group. They did something wonderful that put a smile on Ohio's faces. A feel-good story, if you will. And anyway, but it's now time to give out our new OMVP for the week. Music alert. Look at my music. Here we go. My MVP music. You can sing along at home. OMVP, baby. Blue days, black nights, Alright, that's cute. Alright, my MVP music. Anyway, I found this person out, I guess, this past Friday. It was an event that took place this past Friday. I'll read it. It's a really short news article, and you think for yourself how you feel about it. An Ohio man exonerated after spending nearly 29 years in prison for a rape he did not commit. He is now getting a VIP treatment from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Fulfilling his longtime wish, the team has invited 52-year-old Raymond Toller to Tuesday's NBA playoff game, which that was a few nights ago, against the Boston Celtics. He will also be on the court during pregame activities. Taylor was freed Tuesday after new DNA technology cleared him of a 1981 rape of a 11-year-old girl. Upon his release, he was asked about the Cleveland and said he's a big fan. In prison, whenever they allowed him to, he would watch the games on 13-inch TV. Well, that's just sad. That made me really sad. I can't believe this guy. He's out of jail now, but he spent pretty much most of his adult life in prison for something he did not do. He's now 52. And, if I were him, I'd sue the whole city. That's bullcrap. He's probably been saying all along he was innocent. He was probably telling his cellmates and his family he didn't do anything wrong, and the courts didn't believe him. They threw him in jail. And then all of a sudden, they come up with this new nice technology, and I guess some person decided to test that old case, and they found something that did not match. They decide now all of a sudden they decide he's innocent, and he's free now. There's like, okay, well, we made a mistake. You're free now. I don't know how I don't talk to this guy personally. He was at the Cleveland game. He hasn't been out very long. But that would be really bad. I'd feel bad for anyone I think he would have to be 23 years old when he first went to prison. You're a young adult. You had your whole life ahead of you, and then suddenly you got to go to jail. For one, how to keep hope in prison? Prison is very miserable. It's very awful to be in. And yet Raymond Toller, he held hope, I guess. Maybe he felt deep inside he would be released one day. They'd find out the truth. And they found out the truth, and they let him go. He's 52. I don't know what he's wanting to do with his life. He doesn't have any children and no wife, and most of his family, when he was younger, it's probably dead now. I don't know what he's going to do. I wish him luck, though. I feel really bad he had to go for all that. And I do believe him. I believe, and they reversed the decision. They said that he didn't do it. So, and that was nice of the Cleveland Cavaliers to make him feel better, I guess. They meant well. Now, if I can't really make up for taking 29 years away from his life. He was in jail longer, I think, than Nelson Mandela, that legendary activist. I don't know how long it was like 28 years or something. That's really close. In 29 years, that's longer than I've been alive on this earth, and most of us here at station's been alive on this earth. But I tell you what, Raymond Toller, you were wrongly convicted of a crime from a long time ago. You're free from jail now. The Cleveland Cavaliers treated you to a home game with you getting the VIP treatment. And also, Raymond Toller, I don't know if this will make up for it, but I'm giving you something else now. I'm giving you this week's MVP, Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. Round of applause. Raymond Toller. So good luck in your new freedom. Good luck to you. And I wish you well. I don't know what else to say. I was really speechless. That'd be really terrible. And I tell you, that goes a long way with how we've come with technology nowadays. Technology can save the world, and this is big proof of it. This new technology, this technology that they use was not around in 1981 or 1971. Back then, if you thought someone did a crime, there wasn't much unique evidence or unique tools to find out if someone did something wrong. A lot of people who are innocent could probably be proven that they are innocent or not innocent with these technology tools today. I'm all for it. If you don't think technology has changed, you just see the games that we buy. Back then, you had Nintendo in the 1980s. It was all 8-bit. It was little Mario, and it is changing. All these game consoles. There's like 3 big game consoles. And it's 360 everywhere. Like, you play a game, you can circle the area. They look real. Technology's come a long way. That's one of the big things this country has done. So anyway, hopefully more people's lives can be rescued from this new technology. People that didn't do anything wrong can be rescued. They do not have to go to jail like Raymond Tyler unfortunately had to do. But anyway, MVP, Raymond Tyler. With that, I'm going to play 2 more songs. And after these 2 songs, my guest for tonight, Rich Jones, will be here. You can call him a question for Rich Jones. It's you can call it 775-5555. Once again, it's 775-5555. Call him with your questions now. Enter my contest. Any questions for Rich Jones, the hardest working comedian in Dayton, Ohio. And I am Daniel Diesel. I'll be right back in about 7 minutes with that interview live in the studio. And you are listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Dane's Right Choice. I'm your host, Daniel Diesel, and I have my tonight's guest. He is here in the studios. He is one of the hardest working comedians here in the Dayton, Ohio area and throughout the region. He is the one and only Rich Jones. Say hello, Rich Jones.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yes, Rich Jones is here. So, how long have you been doing comedy work, Rich Jones? How long has your career been?
Well, just about almost 5 years. They say you start to really get funny about 5 years. So.
Oh, well, that's good. The 5-year mark.
Yeah.
All right. So, who influenced you to start comedy? Who's your influences?
My biggest influence, well, Seinfeld was probably one of the first ones I really liked, but Mitch Hedberg is like my all-time hero.
Mitch.
And,
okay, well, who's Mitch Hedberg?
he does a lot of dry humor, and of course he's no longer with us because he was heavily into drugs. But I mean, he was really funny. Like I always envision someday when I get to heaven seeing Mitch Hedberg next to St. Peter at the gate and going, "Hey Rich, what's your favorite color?" "I hope it's gold."
All right, that's something, man. Mitch Hedberg. Okay, now since you've been doing comedy, where are some of your favorite places to do comedy? Like venues. What was some of your favorite moments?
I got to perform at the Punchline in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's kind of a tough cookie to crack. And mostly though, I really like to do churches because they give you a lot more time, and the audiences are always bigger. And just any time I get an opportunity to perform at a bigger venue is awesome.
They don't boo in church either, so.
No.
Okay, that's good.
Churches, the Christians never gossip either. They just have detailed prayer requests.
Okay, well that's all right. Okay, now who's you mentioned Mitch Hedberg. I was gonna say, is there any other comedians that you really like some of your favorites on the circuit right now? Even
there's one I really like named Tim Hawkins. And, he's a Christian comedian, and I've got to work with him a lot. And he's sort of underground, but he's got a huge following. He recently sold out the Duke Energy Center 3 shows in one day.
Wow. Well, cool beans to him. Okay, now trying to think now. Since I just want to ask you, what's the worst joke you ever heard during a comedy show? Something that really bombed.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do.
Oh, well, you can edit yourself. Just
okay.
Be like.
Well, I heard a lady diss Down syndrome kids, and I didn't like it. And she just said how they all look alike, or basically, she said she was black, and she did a joke that said they say all black people look alike. That's not true, but you know who does? Kids with Down syndrome. And I'm like, that's horrible. And,
yeah, boo. That is horrible. Well, that's okay. Well, then you said about tough crowds like Atlanta. Was there ever a place that you really hated to perform at? It was really tough to crack. Any stories about that? Any tough places?
I performed once at Go Bananas, and it's a good club, but you kind of have to be in with the little group that runs the shows there. And,
okay.
And it just wasn't my thing. Like I'd like to go back there again someday, but not in the near future.
Has anyone ever thrown a beer bottle at you while you were on stage?
No, I haven't had that.
Oh, not yet anyway.
Nah, not
Wait
yet.
till you get to Vegas. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. All right. Do you have any knock-knock jokes that you like to do right now? Anyone can do a knock-knock joke.
The only one I really know is the one about knock-knock. Who's there? Boo.
Boo hoo.
You don't have to cry about it.
Oh boy.
I never really got into that.
That's I know. That's why I did that. It's a corny question to ask anybody.
Yeah.
Well, comedians anyway. See, because anyway, like the kids in school be like knock knock. That's the only thing they know is knock knock jokes. I just want to see if I can squeeze one out of you. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Now I know you have your MySpace. Now, what other places can people find you at on the internet? Like places they can find you for updates?
I'm on Facebook. I have a blog because I'm trying to drop a bunch of weight before my high school reunion, and it's called standinguptotheweight.com.
Yes.
And I've been doing that. I've already lost 16 pounds in 23 days.
Well, great, man.
So,
what's your secret?
Just persistence.
Okay.
I don't even really stick to a specific diet. I just don't eat.
Just drink water 24/7.
Yep.
I guess. All right. Here's a few questions I want to ask you now. Now, say you had your own time machine. You could go back in time and do anything you wanted to do, anything at all. What would you do and why?
I would stop the cancellation of Fruit Purple. That was always my favorite beverage.
Okay, what's the fruit? Well, yeah, tell me about this.
It was like this. It was like in a harpsichord type, like container, and you like expand it, and then you like mix in water with like the mix, and it was just awesome.
Okay, I don't remember that drink, but okay. Now, well, speaking of time machines, if you did have your own time machine to do this, what would you use? What type of time machine would you use? Would you use a DeLorean from Back to the Future? Would you use the phone booth they used in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Or would you use a hot tub time machine?
I think I'd use the phone booth because it'd just be cool.
You're the first one to say the answer other than the hot tub time machine. You made some history tonight, my friend. At least on my show. Alright, the phone booth. Alright, do you have a road story you'd like to share with us? Anything that's funny, that's FCC friendly you'd like to share? Something that's come to mind?
Like just on the road, or?
Yeah, on the road. Something that's really funny.
Gosh. Well, actually, I substitute teach when I'm not doing comedy every now and then.
Yeah.
And it helps me come up with new material. And I was subbing at this Christian school, which I'm a Christian, you probably couldn't tell.
Oh.
But,
big mystery.
Yeah, I was subbing there. And they found out I did comedy, and that's always a hit, because they always ask me to tell a joke, whatever. So I told this joke I do about Barney, where I do Barney's voice. And this little girl looked up at me, and I could tell she was probably like the snobbier one in school. And she goes, "Well, you look like Barney."
What?
And I go, "Well, you probably still watch them, so you would know." And the whole room was just like, ooh, and like the little girl and kind of like cried a little bit, and they haven't called me back to sub.
Well, that's what she gets. Well, you would know. Oh man, you get in trouble. Anyway, okay, I have this question. You live in Ohio. You grew up here. Is there anything you'd like to see in your area or in the state of Ohio make it change or improve? How can it change and improve, and why?
I would love to see them do something with the GM plant, because it just sits there, and that's like it takes up so much space, and just seems like they could be doing something with it to like turn a profit and bring some more jobs back to Ohio.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Now that the economy is struggling, that's probably one of my main reasons why it's still closed. Has it kept you from finding any work in comedy?
A little bit, but surprisingly, most people, even like in the bad times, like the economy, they need to enjoy themselves and they need to laugh. So
yeah,
it hasn't hurt me too much, and I think it's going to improve eventually.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have for the first part. We're back with Ohio's on Fire, and I'm Daniel Diesel, along with my guest tonight, Rich Jones, and we're about to do something now. It's something I started a few weeks ago. Yeah, a little thing called Fun in Ohio. We do a fun radio activity, something that you guys might enjoy at home. And me and Rich, we're going to do this one activity. It's a famous Q&A, and you'll see what I mean. What it is. I'll read the question. It's not the new interview with me and him. It's well, I'll tell you what it is, because I haven't done this before. But Bill Clinton was the president back in the 90s, and this is a famous Q&A with him. This was during the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And, of course, this was a Q&A from January 17, 1998. So I'll ask the question as it says on the transcript, and then our friend Rich Jones. Can you read that from here? You want that?
No, I can't.
Okay, we'll switch. And then he'll read the answer in his best impersonation he possibly can. So hold on. All right. Actually, I have to move it myself. All right. At any time, were you and Monica Lewinsky alone together in the Oral Office?
I don't recall, but as I said, when she worked at the Legislative Affairs Office, they don't always had somebody there on the weekends. I typically worked some on the weekends, but sometimes they bring things on the weekends. It seems to me that she brought things to me once or twice on the weekends. In that case, whatever time she would be in there, drop it off, exchange a few words and go. She was there, but I don't have any specific recollections of what the issues were, what was going on. But when the Congress is there, we're working all the time, and typically I would do some work on one of those days on the weekends in the afternoon.
Okay, maybe I gotta scroll down now. All right. So I understand your testimony is that it was possible that you were alone with her, but you have no specific recollection of that ever happening.
Yes, that's correct. It's possible that while she was working there, brought something to me, and that at the time she brought it to me, she was the only person there. That's possible.
Okay. Have you ever met Monica Lewinsky in the White House between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m.?
I certainly don't think so.
Have you ever met her?
Now, let me just say, when she was working there, there may have been some time when we were working late. There are lots of, on any given night when Congress is in session, there are always several people until late at night, but I don't have any memory of that. I can just say I can't say that there could have been a time when that occurred. I don't remember it.
Okay. Certainly, if it happened, nothing remarkable would have occurred.
Nothing remarkable. I don't remember.
All right. Did you have an extramarital sexual affair with Monica Lewinsky?
No.
Okay. If she told someone that she had a sexual affair with you beginning in November of 1995, would that be a lie?
It's certainly not the truth. It would not be the truth.
Okay. I think I used the term sexual affair, and so the record is completely clear. Have you ever had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky, as that term is defined in Deposition Exhibition 1, as modified by the court?
I have never had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. I never had an affair with her.
All right. Okay, that's the end of the Q&A. Good job, man. Our round of applause. There's like 10 million people in the audience, so here we go. That was lame. Anyway, but no, good job, though. We did a good Bill Clinton impersonation. So with that, I got a few more questions for you. Is there a place that you haven't performed at yet that you'd like to perform at, your dream venue to perform?
I would love to perform at the Columbus Funny Bone, because that's like a really tough cookie to crack.
Uh-huh.
From what I've understand, you actually have to try out for open mic.
Yeah. What, anybody has to try out for open mic?
That's what I've been told.
Okay. Would you like to perform like the whole weekend or just one night?
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right. Would you, well, I also thought of this, since you're a comedian, I know a lot of comedians that do public speaking and stand-up stuff. If they're good enough, they eventually get a chance to get in television, like maybe host their own show. Would you like to host your own show on television?
Actually, I would love to, but my side project that I'm working on and trying to build up is I want to have like an animated show.
Animated, okay. Well, that leads me. I do know when I checked up on it. I do know that you do have your own radio show. It's on a website called Blog Talk Radio. What's that show all about?
That's basically me with I usually get a few other guests that are comedians and some of them I've got to hang out with on the road, and we just had some fun times. And
yeah,
and it's just us talking like how we would talk to each other on the road, and just kind of bringing that funny side out of us.
Oh, good. And what night is that on for the audience at home?
It's usually on Mondays. We're kind of on hiatus for like till summer.
Oh, okay, but it's like Monday night, right? On blogtalkradio.com.
Yeah, it's usually at 7 o'clock.
Well, that's cool. Well, good luck with that when it comes back on. Now, I want to ask you about the animation project you were talking about. Is there a company that's interested in it? How's that going?
I'm actually gonna self-produce it.
Okay.
And, I'm working on that right now. I'm working on the story itself right now. A couple of them.
Okay. Do you think Walt Disney might be interested in buying them? Like,
doubt it.
You doubt? Oh, okay. I'm just curious. All right. Now, the moon was made out of cheese. Would you go up there and eat it?
Yeah, especially if it was made out of cheese curds.
Yes. Cheese curds. All right. Is there, I'm trying to think. Well, I am out of questions. I thought of some. Okay. Is there, I know sometimes there's like a collaboration, like someone does comedy and then they do, like someone does a song. Is there like a certain artist or a band that you wouldn't mind collaborating with, like for a comedy song?
I would love to do some work with, I work with these guys named Dave and Brian that are really cool.
Yeah.
They've been on my show, and they do a lot of funny songs, and I'm actually, on my diet campaign, I'm using one of their songs as my theme song.
Awesome. Is that the website? The lose weight, what was it called?
StandingUpToTheWeight.com.
StandingUpToTheWeight.com. Is that on there?
No, it's on my Facebook actually. But I'm working on getting it up there.
Okay, well that sounds good. I might try to listen to that. I like listening to various artists from Ohio and other talents. Do what I can, try to represent them as good as I can. I just have a few more questions. Do you have any shout outs? Anyone you want to shout out to, like your fans, family, anyone you want to, you can do it live right now.
I'd like to give a shout out to my family. They've been very supportive and helping me get my comedy going and everything. And my girlfriend Beth, she's probably listening.
Okay.
And, just everybody that likes to laugh. Thank you for tuning in, and appreciate all your time and coming to my shows. I'm doing a show June 5th in Middletown. It's called Freedom Fest, and it's like an outdoor music festival, and they have a few comedians there. So it's a free show in Smith Park, and it's like all day. So if you guys can make it, that'd be awesome.
It's now time for my final message. And for this month of May, I've been criticizing youth organizations that I'm criticizing them because I think they shouldn't be for the youth. I think they're really misleading. Of course, I talked about the tobacco industry last week. And this week, I'm going after a powerhouse. I'm going for the jugular a little bit. This week, I want to criticize a little company called Viacon. That's right. What it is, I'll tell you a little background about Viacon before I get going. This current Viacom that exists, they were founded in 2006, and they were actually around since the late 1970s, but they were part of a bigger organization for CBS Corporation. And I guess these group of people that formed the current Viacom, they were once part of the department for the bigger Viacom. And anyway, these people bought the naming rights. They're headquartered in New York City, and they are quite a powerhouse. They own a lot of TV channels. They own I'll tell you, I'm gonna tell you what they own. I'll tell you how powerful these guys are. They own BET. They own MTV. Of course, MTV Networks. It's they have networks in their own brand. Like there's the BET Networks, which is BET, and then underneath MTV Networks, they got Adam Films, Addicting Games, CMT, Comedy Central, Game Trailers, MTV2, MTVU, MT33s, which is the Mexican music channel for MTV. Then you got Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Nick at Night, Spike TV, VH1, VH1 Classic, and of course they're also part of Paramount. They own the Paramount section of their films. That's all Viacom. And my concern, if you were listening, they do own MTV, BET, CMT, and VH1. And you might be wondering, if you ever watched those channels, they have changed quite a bit since they're over the last decade. They were all about music at one point, and now all of a sudden they've shifted their center of attention. They do reality TV now, and they do some really interesting and weird stuff. Quite frankly, I'm not happy with this. I've always liked my music. I love watching music on MTV, and it made sense because it stands for music television. And these people that founded this new Viacom in 2006, they've let's put it this way: they're really greedy. I'm just gonna say it. They're really greedy. They do not care about. They say that they're the voice of a generation, But the thing is that they are the voice of a generation, and that really scares me because they have some true crap on the television. MTV, they got The Hills, they got these like 20 different dating shows, which is really stupid, and they got it's basically reality TV like 22 hours a day, maybe for like 2 hours early morning. They got music videos, and they did that because they think it's a way for them to gain more money. It was a money decision. They didn't care about the fans. They didn't consider the people's idea of what MTV was, and they just changed it. They went with a new direction without asking anybody, and all you see on MTV is crap. And CMT is the same way. That was the country music channel. Have you noticed a pattern? All the music channels that used to be music. Now it's got these reality concept shows, and it's geared towards a certain audience. And they do, and of course, I've did some background. They got these peer group studies. They got these executives. They go in the streets. They find out they do these questionnaires, all that bull crap, and then they determine that these shows they're putting on, they're for my generation. They're for a certain audience. Viacom's supposed to know what their generation wants, this current generation wants, than anyone else. And that's bullcrap. They do not know anything. Because I do not need a corporate conglomerate to tell me what I like and what I need. And people tell them what they need. I see all the time on comments on YouTube and even at the websites, people are talking about how MTV has changed. They've sold out. They do not do music anymore. And that's I just agree with that. People cared about them when they were. It was cool back. My point is that they were cool years ago, of course, 80s and 90s. It was simple. It was music. It was pop culture. People that did cool things. You see them on them. They worked at doing those cool things. You saw them on those channels, and now it's all gone. Instead of some hardworking musicians that deserve to be at the forefront and getting attention and spread their big message to the world, instead we get this this reality TV garbage. These people that have been brainwashed, they've been led to leave. Like there's casting calls at these websites I've come to notice, and they'll tell you, hey, you can become a big TV star. We'll put you on Made, but the catch is to be on TV, we gotta highlight all of your problems. If you're a teen mother, we're gonna put you on. If you're a drug addict, we're gonna put you on. Forget these musicians. Forget about doing something cool. Let's put these misguided young people on and tell everyone that this is the generation. And no, that is not true. And Viacom has done this throughout the board. They're the worst at anything. And of course, the last straw, they tried to sue YouTube back a few years ago, which I'm not cool beans with. They're the ones that claim that they're my voice. They are not my voice. I do not need a TV network. I do not need a bunch of people acting stupid and saying that I'm the reason for that. There are good people in this world. We can do great things together. There's still some good music out there, but the way you can find it has changed. You can go on the internet. And that might be the excuse for these people at Viacom. Like, if you want to hear music, you can just go to our website. You can watch videos there. But that's not the point. Most people don't have the computer yet. Only young people like me probably have caught on to the computer. We need it for our homework and do other cool things. But people that are older, people that want to hear good music, they want to see good entertainment, they still need to rely on television. And I'm pretty sure if they want to see good entertainment, they're not going to find it. There's a good chance they won't find it in these Viacom channels. Especially the channels that used to be about the music. They're the ones that are the worst. Because other channels, they're just concept based. But MTV stood out for something. They were the one and only at one point. They did music, and then BET came along. And then what else? CMT and VH1. Those are the ones I'm criticizing the most. They're the ones that have suffered the most under this regime of Viacom. They're presenting crap entertainment most of the time. I know they do have their followings. Some people do watch this. They watch the shows on there. And perhaps, I don't know if they really enjoy it, or maybe they watch it because it's a train wreck. I just don't think that's fair, especially what they go by. The MTV Networks continues to connect with its audience for both consumer products, joint ventures, and approximately 300 interactive properties worldwide, including online, broadband, wireless, interactive television service, which allows all the network's programming service to be worldwide. And then they have an age group. So they've got all figured out, and there's even a picture while I was printing this out. They have a picture of MTV and who it represents. And of course, MTV, I guess it still stands for music television, technically. They've never changed it, which they should. There's a picture on there. And it's not Usher, it's not Aerosmith, it's not Eminem, it's not any big music artist. It's those girls from the hills. So that's what they want you to care about. They want you to care about these spoiled brat little girls from California. And that's not fair. Do not speak to me. That is not fair. I got two things to combat this. Two things that could stop this, because they are a powerful company. Even though I don't agree with the entertainment, a lot of people have said to stop this, but they keep going. It's never ending. They show something new that's worse all the time. I don't know where they're coming from with all this. Perhaps a change of regime, but I'm not their boss. I can't fire anyone over there. So there's two things I can suggest. One would be to stop watching Viacon products. Just don't give them any TV ratings. Don't buy any DVDs. Don't buy any shirts. Any of that stuff. And that will hurt them. That will hurt their wallet. Like if you want to send a message. And then the other thing would be for some other company that could do what I guess these music companies used to be, what these entertainment shows used to be when it was fair, they didn't go over the edge, they didn't used to try to bother people, gross people out. Maybe some company can rise up and try to be an alternative to people my age, something that's fair and honest, hardworking, and actually promote some music artists that work their butts off. There's hundreds of artists that you've never heard of, I think are really awesome, throughout Ohio and New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan. You never hear them because these corporate suits at Viacom don't give them the time of day. And this generation is suffering. So those are two things I can think of. You are your own voice. People that are my age, you're younger, a little older, you have a choice. I want you to know that.